Did we get Stuckmannized?
We just got Stuckmannized, and we wanted to
come clean
and also warn the audience about what can happen.
Most of his videos, he warns you about getting Stuckmannized.
Well, it's a choice because it says click right here.
To get Stuckmannized.
Exactly. This one, there is no choice.
You don't have the option.
It happens regardless
You
if you
just
watch
get
it.
Stuckmannized whether you want to or not.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
We just got out of seeing Shelby Oaks in theaters. This is a movie that we at this YouTube channel that you're currently watching this video on have been waiting for a very long time.
So anticipated.
Possibly one of our most anticipated films of the decade, really.
The whole decade.
Since the announcement.
If you are new to our channel, we have been following and reviewing and talking about YouTuber movies for the last 5 years. We started off talking about Ralph the Movie Maker's movies, but we've also reviewed Chris Stuckmann's other short films, The Critical Drinker, famed YouTuber Ben Shapiro's movie we also checked out. This has been a movie that's also been in development for a really long time, which is part of the reason why we've been so excited
building
to see
even
it.
more anticipation every passing year that it doesn't come out.
So I want to get this out of the way because we always get these comments that are like, you're just haters. None of us are Chris Stuckmann haters. In fact, some of us are even big fans. I personally am pretty neutral on Chris Stuckmann. I don't love him, I don't hate him. There's a lot of controversy about him a couple of years ago. None of us are on that hype train. I don't care what he did in a YouTube video.
If anything, the controversy made me like him more.
Yeah.
Because he was just upfront with his audience, like, this is what I'm going to be doing from now on.
And people got mad.
And people got mad at him for doing the thing he said he was going to do.
I literally have no idea who Chris Stuckmann is. I have heard you guys talk about him.
Yeah.
I've never seen a single one of his videos. I know nothing about him, and I don't care.
Well, now there you have it. You know what he says is completely
new. He's also the biggest found footage fan in this room.
This is true.
Yeah.
Correction, he's the only found footage fan in this room.
I mean, once you guys see my found footage horror movie, I think it's going to change your minds, but...
That's because it's not going to be a movie. It's just going to be real life, and your penis is going to be heavily involved. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Chris Stuckmann, but I click on his videos sometimes.
You get Stuckmannized occasionally.
Oh, I for sure get Stuckmannized. You got to click sometimes to get Stuckmannized. Yeah. I'm more of a fan of him than his content.
As a person,
I think any video he puts out that's like about his personal life story and what he's doing in life, I'm always there for. Very endearing person. So going into this movie, I was very much very much rooting for him. Not just because it's like, oh, Chris Stuckmann, he's trying. He's got a movie in theaters that we can go buy a ticket to an AMC and watch. That is really cool, especially since he came from YouTube, and it's also just beneficial to us and any other people on this platform that want to make movies that are on YouTube.
If you're new to our channel, we're also filmmakers ourselves. If you go through our channel, we have filmmakers in air quotes. We're not, we make shitty little movies. We're looking at any YouTuber movie project like this as a person that's doing what we want to do. So Chris Stuckmann succeeding is beneficial for us. We said this in our Critical Drinker video as well. Anybody that makes the jump from YouTuber to professional filmmaker is a net win for us.
And a lot of people have done it. And someone in a video pointed out that I watched that was like, this is just going to become more and more common where filmmakers will be coming out.
And I do think that 10 or 15 years from now, the vast majority of new filmmakers will have some kind of YouTube presence or TikTok presence, or I just find it really hard to imagine that new filmmakers in 10 or 15 years will just appear out of nowhere, having never posted anything on the internet.
It's going to be unlikely that in the next 10 to 30 years that like any filmmaker working doesn't have some sort of YouTube presence.
So I just getting that disclaimer out of the way because we're going to be very negative about this movie.
Unfortunately, yes.
I want everyone watching this video to know that it's coming from a place of love and sincerity. We love this space and we want it to succeed, but we also have to be like,
well, this is a part of
honest
film discourse to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, oh, aren't we happy that people that we want to be successful are successful in making movies? It's also like, okay, did we like this movie though?
Yeah, I'm proud of him, and we'll get to that, but like, I'm also gonna be honest about what we thought of it.
The important thing at the end of the day is that Chris Stuckmann made a real movie that's in theaters, and the important thing is that he tried really hard and he
got so far.
Lived the dream, he went out there and he did it, and I have a lot of respect for him. And that being said, he made a bad movie.
And you're a huge
I was gonna
Chris
say, this is
Stuckmann
coming
fan.
from
Yeah.
the biggest Chris Stuckmann fan in the room.
Yes, I admittedly am not so much a fan.
He has a
now.
body pillow.
Do not have a body pillow. Does he have those?
Did you throw that out?
Do you need a new one? Did you like?
Did you fill that with too many
Yeah,
loads?
did you get too much cum on that one, dude? Because your birthday's coming up,
On?
dude. Just let me.
I've dropped off a bit of the Chris Stuckmann train, as a lot of people have, just because he does not make the kind of content that he used to anymore.
But you're not angry about it.
No, I'm not angry about it. I mean, what? I follow like, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of channels that give me different things. It's like,
I don't care about any of that disclaimer because I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who this guy is. I don't really care who this guy is. I judge a movie by what I feel about it.
What do you feel about it?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
Very short, spoiler-free summary. There is a very early YouTube channel whose name is Paranormal Paranoid, which I
Paranoids.
cannot take fucking seriously. And I
No,
hate
every
that.
time they said it, all of us giggled. It just sounds so dumb.
paranormal paranoid.
Sounds like
Comedy,
Paranormal
that
Paranoid.
would be great because if the news has to say your stupid YouTube channel every time.
3 of the 4 get killed brutally. The last disappears without a trace. That missing girl, Riley, her sister Mia, is wanting to find her, and so it's mostly about Mia's search for her missing sister. I know Mike Flanagan was involved, and I'm told after we finished watching the movie, someone leaned over and was like, "Oh, there were reshoots in this movie." I'm like, "Okay."
For better and for worse, I would say you can't really feel the reshoots. Like at no
will say
point.
that, yeah.
For better because it's like, oh, it's never obvious, but for worse because like afterwards I was kind of like, see, what was this like before?
I did wonder what it was like before.
So and this is the fixed version.
I had a lot of issues with just even kind of the base core concept of the movie.
Let's not do spoilers yet. They know we don't like.
I do think you should go see it. That was my spoiler-free thoughts.
Yeah, I would agree. Go see this movie, even though it's terrible. I also hate found footage, so I was more
Would
than
you
likely
call this
never-
a found footage movie?
It was for a while.
Oh, so that's the thing with this movie is that it manages to capture everything wrong with the found footage like format without even committing to the found footage bit. And we'll talk about that more in spoilers, but
It kind of like has found footage, but doesn't use it to its advantage for the most part.
no, it uses it to its detriment.
Yeah.
Like the entire first 40, what feels like 45 minutes is just found footage exposition that's just like told to you. And then it's just like
it's barraging you with crap where I'm just like, I can't retain any of this.
cut 2 clips of Horror in the High Desert 1.
Person that he was. He was trustworthy and amazing.
So Gary loved the outdoors. I mean, he was the king of outdoors.
Super smart, but definitely private. He kind of just kept to himself. If he wasn't in his room on his computer, then he was working on his model railroad.
Yeah, it's very similar to Horror in the High Desert 1, except at least with this one, they're cutting to footage of like stuff, where Horror in the High Desert 1 is just interviews and nothing.
The worst part of Horror in the High Desert, where it's just characters
exposition.
telling you what happened. And I wish I had clips of it. If I can find it, I'll add them in. But just like back to back, just like characters telling you about, my sister, she was such a great person. She loved to adventure and find ghosts. And then cut to, Gary was such a survivalist and an adventurer. Like,
Loved his dog too.
loved his dog too. Where it's just like,
Felt like I actually knew Gary better.
Gary had more personality.
Like straight up,
Yeah.
like I feel
Well,
like
they also-
I could tell you more about
It's
Gary.
because
first of all, he's
they
a
spend an
survivalist.
hour of the movie doing
They
this.
spent an hour of this movie
It's
doing
not
that.
an hour.
No,
though.
no, it's not an
That's
hour.
the thing. It's like the first 15
It's
minutes
just
or so. 20
much,
minutes or
and
so.
I think I probably audibly sighed like 15 times just because it's like, oh my god, we're gonna talk about this. Oh god, no, shut the
Yeah,
fuck up.
I was just like, oh man, here we go again with found footage movies. This is how it is all the time.
So you know what this actually reminds me of? Because we were talking about this movie before, because we were talking about my recommend list, which you should check out as soon as we release that video. Butterfly Kisses. This movie felt like a worse, less intelligent version of Butterfly Kisses. Because like, okay, in that movie they have footage that they found, but they're actually analyzing the footage and they're going, okay, so this is the location. We can check and like look at historical records. None of this is making sense. None of it's matching up.
Yeah.
This is fictitious footage.
The fact that found footage is there is part of the plot and integral to it. Whereas this, literally every single plot element in this movie is like set dressing. Like nothing matters by the end of it. I was even thinking like The sister didn't need to be a character. Riley, the
Well,
character.
there's nothing happens with character decisions and motivations.
No.
Like she's motivated to go find her sister, but everything that happens, every step she takes is just kind of like, I have a book.
Yeah.
And I read the book.
Well, the plot is.
I looked at a video.
She watched.
I went to the place in the video.
She wants to go find her sister. She decides to go there, and then she decides to go somewhere else, not for any particular reason, just because that's kind of where the plot needs to go.
Keith David knows something about this prison guy. I'm gonna go talk to Keith David. Something I totally missed in that beginning dump of exposition is I did not realize how long she had been missing. Kevin, I think, was in the same boat.
Yeah, no, I was in the same boat when they're like, she has been missing for 12 years. I was like,
They don't mention anything until Mia talks.
well,
and she's
because they
like,
said
12 years.
2008, but it does not confirm that we are in the present day.
All of the set decoration and stuff is very old, like for no reason. Where it's just like the cars from the 70s for no reason.
Anything else before we go into spoilers?
Movie looks really good. There are a couple shots in this movie where I was like, wow, that one shot in the prison, great money shot.
Yeah, most of the movie I'm not questioning like, oh, this was made by a YouTuber.
No,
Like, for the most part, I'm just like, this is a movie I could have
the
just...
sets look very good.
Sets
take
look
it to
good.
go
Good
and see.
locations.
Lighting
All the
looks
sets.
good. The main actress that plays Mia, I thought did a decent job. I think the character's really poorly written, but I think she's doing a decent enough
It's
job.
really the script's fault.
Yeah.
For anything.
I think she's doing a decent enough job with the material.
Also, there's an old lady in it who's from like Shutter Island and a bunch of other stuff.
And she plays the Penguin in Batman Begins. I mean, Batman Returns. Opposite of Begins.
I also kind of like the actress for Riley.
I think the performances generally were not the issue. Writing was.
The script is extremely underbaked. And this is something that is pretty consistent with other things that we've seen of Chris Stuckmann. His characters are all very flat. The plot leaves a lot to be desired. Like, things don't logically flow one thing to the next. Things just kind of happen.
No, it's like the characters read the script.
Yes.
Instead of just, oh,
There's
this
a
character is
point-
making decisions that are ending them up into different...
I kept thinking the movie was going to be smarter than it was. There's a point where the main character just like is, she's like, oh, there's a demon following me, and her husband's like, yeah, you're crazy, you're a stupid bitch. And then she was like, okay. And then she just looks to her left, and there's just a demonology book right there. And
It was like a goof, dude.
Yeah,
It was
and-
crazy.
Well,
And
I
it's like-
turned over to Alec and started laughing.
it's also just like, it's so obviously like just placed there. It's like the only book that's that like in focus and clear and like has writing that you can see on it. Like, it's just such a, it's like in a video game when like there's the one usable object and it's like clearly
like
colored different.
highlighted, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, maybe this book will tell me where to go next.
And then she presses E on her keyboard.
Demon dogs? That makes sense. We've been talking about that.
Well, and then,
there's-
no, what's crazy? So like she sees demon dogs, and then I was like, demon dogs? Okay, well maybe she's just flipping through pages and we're just seeing a bunch of things. And then the next scene, we had not seen demon dogs yet. But then the next fucking scene, it's just demon dogs. The plot gives you exactly what you need, and I kept thinking that it was playing with those like I would think it would be giving me things, knowing that I'd be thinking ahead. But then the movie was, I was always ahead of
It's
the
like,
movie.
no, that's why I put that there.
Yeah, no, I was telling you that
Yeah, I
that's
was
where we're
telling you.
going.
These things just kind of happen, and they're not driven by things that are created, circumstances created by the characters and what they're doing. For instance, if the husband said, you're crazy, and he's like, you should pack all this shit up, like, can we just move on with our lives, like, for real? And then like reluctantly she goes to it, and then hidden in like the box, like under like a flap of the cardboard, she notices something she's never seen before. Then that kind of unfolds. At least it's like a character thing doing it, not just
What
I'm
if
crazy, packing up book.
You could have
Interesting.
even done a little bit more with that, where like, what if that whole conversation was started because she was looking for the demonology book? Like, what if she starts putting these things
That
together,
whole scene is so terrible.
and then she's like, "Where's the demonology book?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking." Like, maybe he plays coy. He hid it.
I threw that away.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going with this. Is what if you rewrite the scene? He intentionally hid the demonology book because he knows that she's going down this rabbit hole, and he's like seen her go down it before, and it's just like, I don't want you to do that. And
Maybe
then
she gets pissed
Yeah.
because he threw it away or whatever, and that could prompt a more reasonable response of him saying you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because the whole scene, she's like completely rationally being like, I think this is what's going on with my sister. This is what I believe, and I know it's been a long time, but like, hear me out. Here are the details I've come up with. And then he just goes, you're fucking crazy, bitch.
Yeah. This is still non-spoilers, I would say, because it's first act stuff.
Yeah.
And
mid-movie.
also, the husband never fucking comes back.
That's
so
what
it
I'm
doesn't
saying.
matter.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just such a crazy thing to throw include in the movie, because I'm like,
the movie-
well, now you just have this husband character that just is a dirtbag.
The movie
for
is
no reason?
full of shit like that, and this like every single thing in this movie is set dressing. Like, nothing matters. Characters will pick up a knife. And it's like, oh, they're gonna use the knife. Then they just put it down a scene later and it never comes back.
And it never affects the character.
Exactly. And so like that's like the husband. It has this, we have the scene where they have a fight. Never comes back, never affects the character, never changes anything.
A lot of the movie is just, here's a really long scene of tension to where it goes out for way too long and it's not tense anymore. Like at first it's like, oh, here's the spooky location. This is kind of tense. And you're like, okay, cool, what's gonna happen?
Okay,
And then
what's
you're
gonna
like,
happen? Something's gonna happen.
okay, so now nothing's happened for so long that I'm just like, okay, seriously, what is gonna happen? And then when something does happen, which is rare, it's like so unsubstantial with the plot, or it's just like nothing.
The scary stuff in this movie is all just the buildup. It's all edging. There's
the whole
no
movie's
release.
edging.
Yeah. There's so many horror moments that I'm like, okay, this is a good setup, this is a good setup. And then they don't pay it off. There's like obvious payoffs too. There's a moment where Kevin and I had the same thought where it's perfectly framed where a character's sitting in like this kind of spooky area and there's a door right behind her.
That's
and
open.
It's open. And it's very spooky and it feels intentionally framed so that the door will start to close and then she's locked in this room.
And it gets dead quiet too. You're like,
ooh, yeah.
a realization just hit, and then
A movie does nothing, and just nothing happens.
And then just she looks to her left. Ah! We don't see what it is, but there's a jump.
Shots of just really, really slowly turning heads to nothing.
And her face. We get a lot of her face
Just-
reacting to spooky
It's almost like
things.
he just had a bunch of that and he's like, I'm gonna cut the plot together later.
So, Keegan.
Okay, so
you
go-
seem you're like itching. for spoilers.
Keegan's been edging too much,
Yeah.
dude. He's got to
All right.
spoil.
Yeah. Splooge, dude. Let it loose.
Release the river.
Her sister is in the middle of filming a documentary.
Don't forget she leaves signs on the trees.
That is something we find out later. The sister's filming a documentary when someone shows up at the house and it's this guy who says, She finally let me go free, and then shoots himself in the head.
And then she proceeds to not wipe the blood off for
was
like 15
so
minutes.
I joked that the rest of the movie she was still gonna have the blood on her.
And this is like the
Yeah, a couple
characters-
scenes later, I was like, she should still have
The
blood on
characters
her.
don't
That'd be
act
funny.
like people. Like if my wife had the blood of a man that shot himself in our front door, like on the porch, hours later, I'd be like, hey,
We're gonna clean that off.
have you not cleaned that off yet? Like that's a guy's brains on your face, right? Like can we just I'm
Let's
just gonna
go to the
wipe
shower.
Yeah, I know you're probably going through something, that's fine. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna take a shower, we're gonna wipe the brain off. But like the guy is just like, oh yeah, you're watching your sister's spooky tapes.
So anyways, the guy who killed himself had a
this-
micro VHS.
Yeah,
little
the
Shelby Oaks tape.
Mini DV, is that what it is? I don't know.
I think it's mini DV.
The one time Keegan's not wearing his never forget.
Yes.
Sure.
She's playing through and she finds out that this guy who killed himself was the one who abducted her sister.
All of this is just explained to you as boring as Keegan's explaining it to you right now. It just takes longer.
That's how the whole plot is.
and
It's just
so-
explaining things to you.
And
Just triple
so
that.
instead of giving it to the cops, she's supposed to like, I want to investigate myself because cops are not going to look.
The husband's like, no, we should give it to the cops. And she's like, no, the movie wouldn't happen if I gave it to the cops.
She basically does say that.
Why didn't you give it to the police?
I needed to see it for myself.
She is right though. The movie would end.
They would go and
sweet.
investigate it.
Yeah,
They'd
they'd be like, oh sweet, that guy did it.
yeah.
He lives at this house.
His mom's here. Hey, crazy spooky
There's
lady.
mold everywhere. Maybe we should look around.
Hey, the penguin lives here.
So then she
Batman
decides
Begins.
to follow the clues of all of her sister's past videos. Finds that the guy who killed himself was possessed by a demon. Although I don't think she realizes that until the mom, like grandma penguin, explicitly is like, "There's a demon."
She goes to the library.
I was so confused as to how the plot was moving so slowly because I was like, okay, so you told me all the keys to this mystery. Why aren't you going to these places? Why do you need to read about it to go to there?
It turns out that she forgot in her former baby room because she always wanted to have a baby, which is mentioned once.
Yeah, I wish they went into that a little bit more because it was so important later.
She's had a crib in her house for 12 years now.
Even though they never
Boxes.
got pregnant.
Also, why would you put boxes in there?
Why would you keep the fucking crib?
They did give up on it for like 12 years.
I mean, it is a big house, but you have so much fucking room in your house that you never were like, I'm gonna use this.
All the more reason I thought this was a
Anyways.
much closer together timeline. I was like, 12 years?
Yeah.
You know, like it
Yeah,
makes
there
less sense.
was evidence of this only been like a few years.
So she turns to the nearest box, which has
less.
a book of demonology conveniently in it that says it is an incubus.
Yeah, and she opens to the. This is the thing. Like, I kept thinking the movie would be smarter, but she just opens to the page that tells her exactly what the demon at the end, because it's an incubus, and we learn that very explicitly, named Darwin or whatever.
Incubus
What
is
is an
a
incubus?
male version of a succubus. It's a male sex demon.
Please expand.
Yeah, expand on that one. I want to.
It's a male sex demon.
Yeah, but what happens?
What kind of things does it do?
Do they go to men too? Is it man on man, or what are we talking about right now?
Is it just male and female, or just like do
Or who gets?
Historically, women would say, "Oh, I got pregnant because an incubus fucked me in my sleep."
She opens the exact page and it tells her that demon dogs will show up, and then like literally she goes outside and there's a demon dog there.
Like no, she's outside reading the book and she looks.
No,
up
she's
at the
looking
top.
at pictures.
Yeah, she's looking at pictures.
Okay,
And then she
read about
decides.
it, then goes outside, looks at the demon dog pictures.
After that scene, she decides in that moment, well, I guess the movie should not just take place in my house. We'll just go to the spooky prison.
She decides that night to go to a haunted, empty prison.
And this is realized that the movie had no idea how to use tension.
It's the most prevalent in this scene.
A single lone female going to the spookiest location in the movie, this like abandoned prison. Great location, looks great, but I never feel scared in that entire sequence.
Because it goes on too long. She walks around in that prison for so long before the actual scene starts.
She's too brave.
If she's not scared, we shouldn't be scared.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to say, is like there's no trepidation about it.
No, she drives there very quickly in the middle of the night.
She just looks around very slowly.
Yeah, she just...
What if she was a drug addict? Like her sister's disappearance made her become a drug addict, and so she doesn't give a shit because she's kind of a crazy drug addict woman.
There are elements
we would
that
need some character for sure.
At first I thought it was gonna go of like, oh, she's kind of a badass actually. Like she's like so determined to find her sister. She doesn't care how many demons are going after
She doesn't care
her.
it's nighttime.
But then they don't go far enough in that direction where I'm like, she should have brought a gun. She should have been like Halloween 2018 Laurie Strode.
When she opened the truck glove compartment and she reached in, I thought she was gonna grab a gun.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
that would have been
She
badass.
just grabs a flashlight. I'm like, oh.
She eventually gets to the house where the penguin lives. I don't often say this, and most of the time, what I'm about to say, you shouldn't say in your story. But I was like, this scene would be so much better with a gun in it.
I literally pictured the scene as it was playing out with a gun. I was like, this would be so much, because like, she just looks stupid in this scene without any sort of power.
Imagine halfway through, she's just like, yeah, you're weird. I'm sorry. Where's my sister?
What I thought was gonna happen is because she had grabbed the knife, is I saw that giant rug in the middle of the room, and I'm like, oh, there's something underneath that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if it's a pit? Because like in the old woman, because she didn't see the old woman walk to the chair, she walked around the rug.
Yeah.
She goes over to the rug to like threaten her with a knife. She falls into the pit, and that's where the rape dungeon is.
I thought something like that might happen too, because like you didn't see her
That's
walk
too
over.
clever.
Again, yeah,
Too interesting.
any clever thing your brain was thinking throughout this movie, the movie does something dumber and less interesting than that.
Or nothing. Most of the time, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like that prison scene, the biggest problem is that there's information that is dumped and then it just ends with a dog.
So yeah, she leaves the prison and then she goes to a creepy abandoned amusement park. Then she gets led by a demon dog to the penguin's house, and that's where she learns that Riley is still alive. She's being kept in the basement as kind of a sex slave and is being forced to give birth to a demon baby by the guy that kidnapped her, who is the avatar of a demon or something.
There's other issues I have with it. So like when the dog attacks her, you see the demon who's in the cell like kill it.
I don't think it kills it, just grabs
I just
it.
think it just grabbed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it grabs it, but I'm like, why is the demon doing this?
Well, because the demon
The
wants
demon wants
her.
the demon wants Mia to raise the child because Mia is dumber. This is my legit thought. I think Mia is dumber, and so the demon can manipulate Mia, whereas Riley has been raped. Riley's like, no, I'm not going to believe
Riley's
you. You raped me.
if you let me out of this cage, I'm gonna kill that. The demon's like, fuck, this bitch keeps trying to kill my babies, and she's done it like 100 times.
She realized that there was my demon energy in the baby. How did she figure it out?
She keeps figuring out my demon seed is causing a demon baby to grow within her. Fuck.
I'm gonna set my dogs after and eat her.
She kind of has a dumb sister.
I'm gonna make it seem like I always wanted that one. She really is dumb because, like, kind of tailing with the I wish she had a gun in that scene in the ending. The lady goes down into the hole, and like spooky stuff is happening, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'll go down the hole with you." And I'm like, "Dude, you gotta have some sort of plan."
I think to try to couch my gun comment, I wish she took more agency in the climax.
Yeah, she's got no agency.
She has
in the
no
climax.
agency, and the power dynamic never shifts. She's always just like suspicious, but she never does anything with her suspicion. Where it's just like, I feel like this is weird. I can suspect that you're lying to me, but then she does nothing with that information.
And she doesn't react in a way like I feel like if you're in the penguin's house and she takes you down into the hole and you find your sister in a cage, I'd immediately be like, let her out of this cage. Like, penguin person, where are you?
Yeah, you
don't know a
pull out
demon
your
dog
knife.
exists.
You
Yeah.
say you unlock the cage.
Unlock this cage.
I'm not gonna do it because I'm not turning my back to you.
Yeah, even though
because-
she's already done that for like 10 minutes.
But that's the
Unlock
thing.
the
She's
fucking
just,
cage.
She's just acting so dumb.
The tension moves so slow, and like the spooky scenes, you have like scenes like that where you're like, oh, the lady's behind her, or like somebody's behind her. Like you're just kind of like,
You see the eyes.
okay, this is going on so long, like nothing's happening, and then nothing happens, and then they go up the stairs, and you're like, okay, why are you staring at the door for so long? Like the lady's around, like she's out.
It's gonna be more interesting to also add, pad some kills in there. If when she's breaking into the prison, there is a homeless guy there who is like a drug addict.
They have this documentary crew that's making a documentary about her, right? Why didn't she get the documentary crew to help her? Her husband thinks she's crazy, but what if she's like, okay, but I can get these people to help me. They're already interested in my story. That would have added bodies that could have been killed.
Yeah.
Just like every single plot thread, it's introduced and goes nowhere. Like they have one conversation at the end where it's like, oh, we got all the footage we need. The documentary's over because we had a conversation in your
You
hallway.
ended the movie. You could argue that she didn't want anybody to know about anything she was doing in order to end the movie. You know?
Yeah. Well, you could argue
that.
lots of things.
You could argue lots of things.
Well,
I don't think that excuses that, though.
Well, also, like, the whole point of the ending is, you're right where the demon wanted you all along.
Yeah.
Then, in my opinion, if you want a very simple way to just make the plot singular, is everywhere she goes, she has, like, some kind of, like, vision of her sister pointing to go a certain way. And so when she finds, like, oh, you led me right to you, like, you did it. I had these.
Kind of do that with the signs.
I had these visions. I was following, and then turns out all those things with the demon, and maybe that pays off with a line later on towards the end. It's like, don't worry, I followed you. You were calling out to me. She's like, I didn't do shit. What
I didn't
are
do
you talking
anything,
about?
yeah.
And they're like, she's crazy.
That could
I'm
have
sure
been
it's
so
nothing.
cool because they set up that the sisters have this thing where they leave signs in
They leave,
trees
yeah.
for each other. That goes nowhere. Oh, she was trying to tell me something. She left all these things in the trees, and she's like, I saw it. I haven't left anything in any trees.
Yeah, I totally forgot we did that.
And that happens towards the end, and
Yeah.
then you're like, and that gives you the feeling of, oh, maybe the movie's not over. But if you actually have a good climax before then, you actually think realistically the movie could be over. The demon thing's no problem anymore. She saved her sister, whatever. Instead of, the demon will now be in the baby.
I'm using Satan force.
And then I'm like, how can anyone think it is over? How can anyone in their right mind think it is over? Like, I'm
Exactly.
so
Literally
confused.
nothing happens at the end. Like
Yeah.
like the climax. I mean, like the penguin is summoning Darvon the Devourer, and then just dies on the floor.
Yeah, she goes,
that sentence makes no sense to it.
We all kind of had the realization, like, oh, okay, yeah, the demon wanted the main
this
character the
happened.
entire time.
Yeah.
But then that's it. They just get away. Even though they set up like kind of like a threat. Like she has psychological power, or like she has
the force.
She has the
She
force.
literally uses the force.
So
yeah.
you can't like have a character be like, I've got the force, and then the characters don't have to do anything
then they
like
just
to,
die.
to succeed.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of continuity errors.
Yes, please talk about your continuity errors while I try
Let's
to
knock those out.
So-
boom, boom, boom.
So near the beginning, when the guy shows up and shoots himself in the head, I want to make sure I heard it right. He says, "She finally let me go," before he does that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't come back.
No.
I thought that was going to come back, and they were going to explain that a little bit more. With the ending.
I thought I knew where it was going because there was something that almost made sense.
Yeah.
That's another continuity break.
Keegan is kind of getting at there's a couple things in this movie that are just straight up like lapses in continuity, or maybe we're just fucking stupid, and like Keegan and I both.
If we're wrong, point it out.
Yeah,
But we
Keegan
only
and
watched
I-
this once.
The implication would be like he escaped from his mother /
But that doesn't make sense because
It
he's a
doesn't-
Cambrian. He is half demon. He is the avatar of Satan.
But there is no scene where we actually get a payoff to that.
No.
I thought the implication was going to be he was the one that killed the sister, and the sister's ghost was forcing him to go and turn himself in so that the Mia could find the dead sister.
I assumed that line was going to come back as like, oh, the demon dog thing is protecting her / working with her, and she is somehow involved with some sort of demon thing.
but
and
also-
she's actually the one that has all the power in this situation.
One of the other things is when they're going to, there's a abandoned fairground, and they're talking about like, oh, my mom used to go there all the time as a kid. My mom used to go there all the time as a kid. And when they go there in 2008, she's like, oh, I've never been here before. And then later on in the movie, they're like, oh yeah, me and my sister, we used to come here all the time as kids.
in a repeated clip, the sister is like, I've had dreams of this place. Like she's like, this is weird. I had
a
dreams
dream
of
about this place,
And
yeah.
then the protagonist is just like, oh, me and my sister used to go there all the time. But I wish I had clips of it because earlier in the movie,
They say multiple
by,
times,
like,
it's not just once.
Yeah, not even like 10 minutes before that, it was my mom used to go here all the time. And I actually thought they kept mentioning the mom. I had an early thought that the mom was going to be revealed to be in a cult because it kept talking about how the mom used to live in this town and she's the one that told them to write on the trees. And then her tree sign looked similar to the cult witch sign or like to the Satan witch sign.
Could have been an earlier draft.
Not similar as visually, but just like conceptually they're similar.
There's so many, like, so much exposition, so much detail thrown at you in this movie that it's like hard to weed through. Not a lot of it comes back.
Well, also they forgot their own like exposition.
Yeah, that's what
But then it's like they introduce all these elements. So she has 3 friends. Why does she have 3 friends? That's useless information. Like, yeah, we get a little bit, a fucking little bit of gore with the friends. Her having those friends adds nothing. Like their
could have literally been one other person.
Yeah, it could have just been she has one camera person. Their friends never come back. The fact that they died is never a big part of the story. They're not relevant to the plot of the demon at all. So it just, like everything in this movie, feels like
unnecessary detail that
fat.
just clouds the movie in the whole
They
overall
need to cut
experience.
down the first half of the movie and then stretch out the second half.
Which is crazy. Well, and so this kind of gets to a point that I had in the movie.
That third act should have been, they should have stewed on the concepts they were trying to
The
capitalize
movie
on.
finally stumbles into a good idea in the last 5 minutes of the movie. So like the plot, just to recap kind of where we're at, the protagonist, as she rescues her sister and they're about to leave and the sister just like dead stare walks upstairs and you're like, okay, what's going on? Like, why does she not want to leave? And then you slowly start to hear a baby crying. And it's like, does she want to get her baby? And then we have a really dumb scene where the penguin uses the force and then dies.
Uses the force, dies for some reason.
Use the force.
She did slit her wrist.
The one setup and payoff that does happen in the entire movie is she wanted to have kids. You kind of forgot because it's not really part of the movie at all, but
They
she
very
does
briefly mention it.
She does look down at the baby and she kind of smiles and brings it back. But you as the audience, you've seen a movie before and you also remember the part where 30 seconds before that, the witch
Penguin
lady
said, this is a demon baby.
the demon baby.
This is a demon baby. He will come back as this baby.
Yeah, she's like, the seed is strong with him. He will live again in this baby's body.
And she's like, well,
whatever.
This is the
And
baby.
She also just had the fucking force used on her and is like, well.
She also read the demon book that was explicit about how that works.
She saw the demon, she had the demon force used on her, she had all that demon stuff happening. They take the baby and then she's like, oh, I guess life can go back to normal.
Life can go back to normal. And then the next scene is like,
what are you talking
and
about? No one thinks
there's a
that.
moment that I really, really like. So we cut to the hospital. It's like the next day. The sister Riley is just staring at the baby. Like they're both in the same hospital bed and she's just like
Not happy. Staring at the
She's just
baby like, we need to kill that baby.
And there's just
That baby's
dread in
gotta
her
go.
face, like decent amount of face acting, just pure dread, like knowing that like the fucking Antichrist
This
is
is
here.
not over until this baby's dead.
Yeah, I was like, this should have been the movie. This, like, if the movie started with this scene and the rest of the movie was this drama between the protagonist's sister, so Riley, and Mia. Mia wants to have a baby, but now is like adopting her sister's baby that is the Antichrist. The sister, then the climax is what I'm about to describe. The sister wants to kill the baby. And like that's the entire conflict of the movie. I would watch a full hour-and-a-half movie about that.
At least give me half
At least
the
the
movie.
third act should have been that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that would have been. This would have been a great end of Act
Because
2, like cliffhanger.
The
here.
way that concludes is so rushed and so sloppy, and also, again, the main character has no agency because it all happens on accident. She knocks her sister out the window on accident.
They kind of stumble a little bit. The
She's trying to keep her from killing the baby
Riley's
with the
gonna
pillow.
kill the baby, and she's like, "You don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, "Yes, she does."
You also know what she's doing.
Yeah, you know what she's doing.
The audience does.
Everyone knows what she's doing, and also, you're the only one that's on your side in this situation.
Did you forget that the penguin used the force on you like yesterday?
One scene ago?
Like this just happened.
You
Demons
read-
are real.
You read the book on demonology. You saw the demon witch. You saw the demon.
You saw the demon dogs.
You saw the
A demon dog
dogs.
led you to the penguin.
And then they wrestle, and this would all be fine. So
This would make sense. That
I would
nobody
forgive
else, if you
all of
haven't
this
seen the
if it
movie.
just played out different. Because the way it plays out in the movies, they wrestle over the pillow, and then Riley accidentally falls out the window.
How tragic.
That would have been...
She's alive, and then
Yeah,
she gets eaten
she's
by dogs.
alive, and then she gets eaten by dogs. But if it was a conscious choice, and this is the problem with so much of the Mia character, she has no agency. If that was just flipped, so it's not an accident, and she intentionally pushes Riley out the window, like her desire to have this baby, she's willing to share a bed in metaphorically with a demon, and push her own sister out of a window because she wants that thing so bad. That would have been you know, a good character. I don't think it would have been earned.
It wouldn't have been earned because it wouldn't have had enough build up for that.
But at least I would have been like, okay, there was the idea.
It also would have been less stupid because I'm just like, you accidentally knocked her out of a closed window. Like
what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like you accidentally, like elbowed her so hard that she went flying out the window. Are you
that
a
window was
wrestler?
actually made of that fake glass that they put on like
The
cakes.
window was breaking beforehand
That's
because
true.
the
The
demon was
window
on
was
the other
cracked.
side.
Yep.
This is
No, it was cracking further.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's true. Setup payoff.
And then
You're
she
right.
gets eaten by dogs.
Either way, she hit her so hard that she flew out the window like that, and then she gets eaten by dogs. It would have been better if she pushed her.
The sister falls out a window and it's over. Like
Yeah.
it just happens so fast.
Those reshoots should have added 20 minutes in that time and then cut
Yeah.
20 minutes
Like,
from the early bits.
Cut that almost the entire prison scene.
Yeah.
I know it was cool, a cool location.
Riley should have died. So, like, Witch raised her hand up and then like did that. Instead, just like closes her fist. Riley crumples into a ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Like goes full Suspiria dance
that
mode.
good?
But then now we have, okay, this is Riley's last gift to the
It's
world.
a demon baby, yes, but it's also the only thing I have left of Riley. That also
And
would have
then,
been better.
then you have an expanded like third act, and Riley's ghost is trying to help the sister and be like, "You gotta kill the baby."
Yeah.
Kill the baby.
And
Kill the
then
baby.
that is the tragic ending of.
Even in that pitch, like, what's so frustrating about that, the end of the movie is what should have been the catalyst of the plot. The way the movie's structured is like nothing happens, and then like the movie starts and then it overs.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is worse than Horror in the High Desert because I at least enjoyed the ending.
I would actually agree with that. I think I also enjoyed Horror in the High Desert more.
I would actually agree.
Whoa.
They're exactly the same to me. They're both filth, and I don't want to watch them again.
Space Eggs.
Space Eggs. I am glad this movie was made and that's in theaters, and I'm glad to support it too.
Yeah.
And I think other people should see it. Same thing I always say. Objectively terrible job. I'm proud of you.
Proud of you.
0.
Yeah.
Actually, 1. I'm gonna give you a 1. There's literally one part I like in the movie, and it kind of is ruined because the rest of the movie's terrible. But like the whole beginning's found footage. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this so much. I hate found footage. And then the movie's like, boom, and then it's like, this is not a found footage movie anymore. Boom, Chris Stuckmann directed it. It's all these like cinematic shots in slow-mo, and I'm like, this is awesome. We're not gonna do a found footage movie anymore. This is awesome.
It's
And then
literally
it's like,
ruined
no.
the next scene when she resumes watching tapes that she got from that.
And I was like, dang it, that was so cool. I was
Yeah.
so hyped to watch a not found footage movie.
Yes.
Which it's not really.
I almost wish it just committed to being a found footage movie because I said this in the beginning, has all the drawbacks of a found footage movie, which is like exposition instead of scenes, pacing, none of the benefits. Like the benefits of a found footage movie, even though I don't agree with this, the benefits are perceived like realism. You know, you get that kind of like, oh, this could really happen. You get that like sense of immersion that you don't, like that's the best part of that sequence at the end of Horror in the High Desert. It ends with this really raw, terrifying sequence that you couldn't really do as effectively as they do it if it wasn't found footage. So none of that. It doesn't use it to do that. And then we still get all the exposition. And we don't get scenes. We just get exposition.
That's what happens.
Well, all the scenes that are found footage are just
more exposition. Wow, Sam's like, you should call Chris Stuckmann.
I am gonna call him actually.
Yeah, because wait, that was a good audition.
I don't think you get the part though, dude. You did it too fast.
Oh, you're right.
That's better. That's better. You should practice.
I'm gonna practice.
I'll just give Space Eggs since I just gave those thoughts.
You can be Shelby Oaks.
I really am rooting for Chris Stuckmann, and I think that he is helping to open the door, and I want people to see
I genuinely thought today, I was like, this movie could be awesome.
I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I even told Keegan, I was like, I have really high hopes for this movie, but
Same.
low expectations.
Same. I was like, I'm gonna go see Chris Stuckmann's movie in an actual
That's so
theater.
exciting.
That's
so
exciting.
But because of that,
It could be cool.
I hold him to a higher standard because Chris Stuckmann's not us. He's not schlubs. He's an established guy, and he had money behind this.
Yeah, we saw the backers.
I also
And Neon doubled his budget too.
even though I'm proud of him and I'm glad that this movie got here, I'm also, I think, harsher on this movie because he had a big shot. Like I'd kill for this opportunity. To see it fumbled so hard in areas that it's free to change the script. It's free to do a second pass and be like,
Yeah,
none
that's
of this.
always the thing that's most frustrating is whenever you're like, no, that what you did wrong is the thing you should have had right.
Yeah,
There was a second writer credited at the beginning.
it's his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, because they come up with a lot of this
story.
stuff.
Should have gotten another wife.
Jesus Christ.
I find him such an inspiring person. His personal story is great, but when you have that position of privilege, like you should use it to do good. So with that being said,
Out of 12.
I have to give you, and I don't want to do this, a 0 out of 12 for this one.
I thought you were going to give him a 12 out of 12.
I thought it was going to be positive.
Chris Stuckmann,
I know.
he Stuckmannized us, dude.
That's the problem.
Overall, I would give it 2 out of 12.
Wow.
I mean, there's stuff I liked in it, like a lot of the set designs, the locations.
I would agree.
Yep.
A lot of competently done production.
The makeup.
level stuff, like company
Lighting?
done.
And if some of those scare moments had better payoffs, the setups in a lot of cases were decent.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I think the payoff is what fails it, but
Yeah, no,
yeah,
the setups
yeah.
were decent. I was, there's
The
some
edging,
parts I was
the
like,
edging's
oh.
cool. It just needs like
the edging's cool, but I think it stops being cool at a certain point.
that's
when,
the problem.
When everything's edging.
Is it just there needs to be a release to that?
See, that's the thing. He was going for Horror in the High Desert 1, but ended up in Horror in the High Desert 2.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a Minerva.
Kevin, Space
Final
Eggs.
thoughts on Space Eggs.
Closing it out with the true fan. Of Chris
I'm
Stuckmann.
glad you saved me for last.
I figured you'd have some important stuff to say.
At the end of the day, the thing that I keep going back to, the free stuff is the stuff that really matters at the end of the day. Looking at your script and recognizing what is wrong with it. When we talked about Notes from Melanie, his we did a react video about it. It's written terribly. Like, these characters are just saying things. It's like they read the script. Like, they're not naturally moving from plot beat to plot beat. And unfortunately, it's the same. It's not as wordy as Notes from Melanie, so there's an improvement there.
Yeah.
But it's still the same core issue, which is you should have someone else write your script. Practice more.
Get a few more passes on it.
Get a few more passes. Send it to people who really hate your work.
Send it to us.
They would be like, hey, hold on. It says here in the script that they've never been to this. She's had a dream about this place, and then later it's revealed, oh, they always went there as
This
kids.
is a very unsatisfying way
Even
to
if all
give
of
out
us are wrong
information.
about that being a plot hole, it's still fucking
We're not.
confusing. Well, I'm saying, like, just trying to give a caveat, like, even if we're wrong, Chris Stuckmann, and like we just missed it, it was still fucking confusing.
Yes,
and
it was not clear.
someone.
And ultimately, the problem isn't just that. It's that you're just giving us information by just saying it.
Yeah.
Everything's just shown, or everything's just told and not shown.
And then on top of that, like big picture stuff, your character has this, thematic. She wants to have a daughter or a child. That feels so paper thin. Like the motivation and like
It's also barely mentioned in it.
That's the other thing.
She should have been an elementary school teacher who was also like super devoted to her kids.
Well, it should have come
it's
up
her
a few
third
times.
kid.
It should have been like a core.
Like, what does she do?
I think that's part of the problem with
Nothing.
the structure of the movie is we spend the first like 20 minutes talking about Riley. Riley's this, Riley's this, but Riley's not a character. Like barely by the end of it. Like Riley is she's not the protagonist. She's not the one that gets the arc. She's basically a side character, but she's treated like the protagonist. So that's all of that time is time we should have gotten to know Mia. But we don't.
By a better comparison, in Lake Mungo, a movie Chris Stuckmann loves, we learn about
A lot of sense, actually.
we learn about Alice Palmer in that movie, but we only know her in the lens of we're learning about her through the family members, and while they're talking about her, we're learning really more about them because they're our characters, not so much Alice. She's the driving force of the mystery, but we're not like intimately getting to know her. It's more we're learning how the family is dealing with it, and it's about their, them dealing with it and their depression and whatnot. And that's just completely missed here. Whereas like we're supposed to be following Mia, not Riley. And there was a point like halfway through I was like, so like, what does she like do for work? Like what's going on? She said she took some time off from what?
Or to use another example.
Who is she?
Or to use another example, The Exorcist. It's not a found footage movie, so you don't have to do any of that. You just make it a movie where characters have scenes and they show how they are and they convey their emotions,
Their wants
desires.
and desires affect the plot
Yeah.
and what they do in the plot.
Non-verbally also.
Yeah, you don't just have the characters tell you, because even in that movie, characters are still just telling you. Like, you're just getting it through interviews.
They're not reading it from a book, at least.
I had similar thoughts as to you, except I went with a different Laura. I went with Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks. That's what I was actually about to
Well,
describe. It's like,
the same concept applies.
different people in Twin Peaks have completely different views of who Laura Palmer was because they interacted with different sides of her.
It'd be a completely different movie.
That's
not even what this movie's trying to do.
Do you think?
But still,
it's like. Do you think the husband had interviews, but they cut him?
The husband shouldn't even been a character. They should have cut the husband out completely.
Yeah, I thought they were going to when they were like, he declined to interview. I was like, oh, are they going to do a thing where they're divorced now and like he's out of the picture?
Writing isn't just dialogue, right? Writing is story, writing is character, and those are the core things that failed at the end of the day. Yeah. Still, I mean, we could nitpick these things all we want. If we enjoy it, if we were invested in it, we wouldn't have nitpicked a lot of those other things. Yeah. Other than that, I gotta say, I'm just really disappointed.
Yeah, you're really a huge Chris Stuckmann fan, and that makes it hurt more.
It does. Yeah. It really does. I unfortunately cannot give this a recommend or a good review. So that's why it's an 8 out of 10.
Whoa.
Man.
We did say there are some good stuff though.
Who could see that coming from there?
I think it's very fair and balanced, that kind of rating. You're weighing the good and the bad.
I was gonna say the same thing.
For instance, the lighting, like cinematography is good. That's 5 points right there, right? That's 5.
Chris Stuckmann's voice is in the beginning. So you gotta clap for that.
That's 1 for getting Stuckmannized. That's I know it's a negative for you, but if you wanted to get Stuckmannized, I think you'd give. And then the something else was good. Locations. There you go. That's 1
Locations.
Point. There you go. So there you go. That's basically it.
So that's that.
Go see it.
And if you enjoyed this video, click that button down below to get in your by Uncle Mikki. Uncle Mikki, Chris Stuckmann might Stuckmannize you.
Is that gonna be our new thing?
Uncle Mikki will you in your. He'll take your and he'll shove it up his own until you going in the ass.
We have to say this
way.
every time now. This is now our thing. Like, this is our Stuckmannized.
Yeah.
So Uncle Mickey's very pushy, and he's gonna in bowl.
Continuously ram his inside of your.
Subscribe.
It's gonna be
Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
Subscribe.
He's gonna be you so hard that you're gonna be like trying to ring the bell just to tap out. You're hoping that ringing the bell will make him stop.
It might work, might not.
It never works for me. He always keeps going.
Yeah, the bell doesn't actually make a noise.
No.
Anyways,
so subscribe.
I think that was good enough.